Saint Anthony Mary Ginelli was the founder of the Figli di Nostra Signora del Giardino and the missionaries of Saint Alphonsus. Ginelli was dedicated to the educational needs of his people and catered to their spiritual and material needs as well. He was on hand to aid the ill and the poor and made evangelization a focus to his episcopal mission. He likewise preached missions and became known for his charisma and his eloquence. Saint Medardus was made a bishop at the age of 33, despite his objection. From his young age till his death, he was known to give anything he has to the poor. Every year on his memorial the rosier is awarded to a young girl who has been judged the most virtuous and exemplary in the region of Salency, France. She is escorted by 12 boys and 12 girls to the church, where she is crowned with roses and given a gift of money. This is a continuation of a yearly stipend or scholarship he apparently instituted when bishop. Saint Ephrem, it is believed he was thought to be a pagan, but was baptized at the age of 18 and ordained as a deacon. As a deacon he assisted priests in preaching the gospel. His most effective tools for helping Christians understand the faith were through theological hymns and biblical commentaries that he composed. Ephrem may have written as many as 3 million lines, and 400 of his hymns still survive. Hymn to the Light is one of his works still alive today. Blessed Anna Marie Tighe was a mother of 7. She died of natural causes on 9 June 1837 and her body still remains incorrupt in the chapel of the Madonna in the Basilica of San Crisogono in Rome, Italy. Living a life of intense spirituality, she had only one desire only, to love God and to serve Him in everything. She had only one preoccupation, to avoid the least shadow of the slightest voluntary imperfection. Saint Primus and Felicianus, 2 holy martyrs, were brothers and natives of Rome. They were renowned on account of their determination to remain constant in the true faith, though they knew the suffering which was in store for them as well from their pagan parents, as from other persecutors of the Christian faith. The emperor called upon them to renounce their faith. They responded saying that they would rather die. Saint Landry of Paris was the 27th bishop of Paris. He sold all of his personal possessions, as well as some of the furniture and sacred vessels of the church, to feed the poor. St. Landry founded a hospital dedicated to Saint Christopher near the Cathedral of Notre Dame. Saint Paola Frasinetti took on the responsibilities of a mother taking care of her 4 brothers who became priests at a very young age. At the age of 19, being worn out, her brother, who was the parish priest of a small village, offered her hospitality to recover. While living there little by little, her gentle ways attracted the youth of the neighborhood and she shared the things of God with them. She found her vocation as an educator, also the idea of a new religious institute. Today sisters of her religious institute teach in Europe, North America, Africa, Latin America and Asia. Saint Barnabas was not an apostle, but the title has been bestowed upon him since very early times. His first noteworthy deed was to sell his belongings and place the money at the feet of the apostles. He was the first to introduce Paul to the apostles when everyone was still distrusting the former persecutor. He was the first to recognize Paul's potential for the cause of Christ towards the universal church. Saint John of St. Facundus was born of a wealthy family. At a young age his father obtained for him a position with guarantee substantial income which he rejected and joined the seminary. He was ordained and made an administrator of a church. Feeling incomplete, he left to Salamanca, where he engaged in study and preaching. He once got on the pulpit and preached saying everyone should not only denounce the sin of the common but also sins of nobility. The people saw him as wise and prudent. He was able to reconcile feuding families. Pope Saint Leo III was elected the day after his predecessor's burial. Upon his election, he sent Charlemagne the keys of St. Peter, indicating his choice of Charlemagne as protector of the city and the sea. In 799 his religious opponents attacked him, scarred his face and tried to tear out his tongue and eyes to render him unfit for the papacy, but he survived. Saint Onufrius was one of the Desert Fathers. When Paphnutius found Onufrius in the desert during his discernment to become a hermit, Onufrius had already lived 70 years as a hermit, enduring extreme thirst, hunger, and discomforts. He said that it was his guardian angel who had brought him to this desolate place. Saint Anthony of Padua was inspired about being a Franciscan when the bodies of the first 5 Franciscan martyrs were returned from Morocco. He was overjoyed and wanted to gain the crown of the holy martyrs. Known for his powerful preaching, knowledge of Scripture, and undying love and devotion to the poor and the sick. He died at the age of 35 and 336 years after his death. His body was found to be corrupted, but his tongue remained incorrupt. Saint Anthony is venerated all over the world as the patron saint for lost articles.